Welcome back. In the last episode, we built a website for Springfield International Soccer Club. We completed the landing page. Uh, we also did an admin section. This was in Filament V4. Uh, we had the player section implemented and also the roles. In this section, we are going to check out something of a page for the non-authenticated users for an announcement page. So what we are going to do is implement a page link wherein anybody who comes up can go into that page and see all about any announcements that have been posted on this website. So let's get started. The first thing for this we are going to need is a announcement model. So let's make a model for announcement, and we also need a migration factory and seeder. Now that we have the migration file, let's go ahead and fill that out. So first thing we're going to need is a title, not name, and we are also going to need a long text for, I'm just going to give it description, and I'm thinking, so each of the announcement is going to be available for a specific period. So I'm going to say there is a date time, or probably just a date for start at, and we'll also do an end at, and we also need a date time for posted on, and we'll also require a boolean to show if it is active. Default is going to be false, and let's just go ahead and add the soft deletes. Now let's copy these values, come back to the factory and try to fill these out. So first let's go ahead and fill out the title, and this is going to be this faker a sentence. Similarly, we need a couple more for description. This is going to be a paragraph, and I'm going to say I need at least 10 paragraphs, probably. Well, I don't think the announcement is going to be that big, so let's just stick with 3. Start at is going to be a carbon date, so we'll say carbon now, and then say add days. We are going to say after 5 days, and we are going to change that for end date, and let's just say 6. So this announcement is going to be valid only for a 1 day. So now we also need a posted on, and this is just going to be now, and I'm just going to set is active to true for everyone, just so that we have the seeder data to display. In the seeder, let's go ahead and say announcement factory count, yeah, 10 is fine, or maybe just to pass it here instead of the count. Awesome. And then in the database seeder, all we gotta do is say we have announcement seeder class. All right, so now that we have everything set up, let's go ahead and run php addison migrate fresh and seed. Okay, so if we come back to our database and refresh, now we see that we have announcements. That's awesome. Now for the administrators, we want them to manage these announcements, like add new announcements or delete the existing ones, basically control the flow. So we are going to make a resource for them. php addison make filament resource and announcement. The title of the attribute is going to be title, Would you like to generate a read-only view page? I would want to, yes. So now that we have the admin resource page, let's just go to /admin, log in, and now we see the announcements here and it is visible. So if I click on view, I see everything. Did I not see? Okay, it is there. One thing I'll change is make this a WYSIWYG editor so that it becomes like people can use like a advanced WYSIWYG options for them. So let's just go ahead to filament announcements. Probably come to schema here, and in the form we'll just make this rich editor, and we have everything here required, and probably we'll add before and say end at, and this is going to be after startup. Let's just, okay, now we see the WYSIWYG editor and we should be good. Now that everybody will be able to control, the admins will be able to control how to add new announcements and delete them. Also, we probably want to show a page to the non-authenticated users somewhere here to view their announcements. So how about, if you remember we had in the first video, we had a couple of links at the top on the navigation. We got rid of them. Let's try and find that Tailwind UI section and try to add it again. So let's just go to, we want to see the landing page. Let's try and find our example. There we go. We'll copy the HTML for that, come back to our resources page, views, and then welcome. There it is. So here we'll just go ahead and quickly add that. We'll probably only just need one for now, and we can duplicate this. So now the first thing is this is going to be announcements probably, and now we also need a page to display the announcements. I'm thinking we are going to make a live wire page for this. So let's just go ahead and run php artisan make filament-page. The name of the page is going to be announcements. Now we'll create the resources views. Okay, so it looks like this is created under filament pages announcements. There is another way we could do this. We could create a live wire page and then hook it up to display the announcements. And we should have probably done that, but let's try and play around with this idea and see where it takes us. So first things first, this is going to be an authenticated page, so we'll change this to be a non-authenticated page. We'll go here and also do the same for simple. So we'll just say announcements. And now because we made it unauthenticated, we'll have to add a route here. So we'll say route get, and this is going to be announcements, and then this is going to be announcements, if I can spell that right, announcements class, and we are going to name this route as guest dot announcements. So I hope this doesn't mess up with the announcements announcements resource links. So I'm just going to do artisan route list grep announcements. Okay, so we're good. This is admin / announcements, and this is just announcements, so that's good. What we can do now is come back to the welcome page and link this up to route and then guest announcements. Okay, so now when we come here, what we want to do is we want to add a public property for announcements. So this is going to be announcements, and probably this should be a eloquent database, illuminated database eloquent collections, and then we also need a mount method, and this is the place where we say we'll run our database query, and we'll say where is active is true, order by created at, and then get. Let's see here. We want anything greater than start date, so also add that query where start at is greater than equal to now. While we are at it, we would also want to do is do cast and say start at is date time. Well, this is just a date, and this is also a date. Oops, this is end date and at, and posted on. Was it posted on? Yes, it is posted on, and this is going to be date time. And we also want to do is active as boolean, and I think the rest should be fine. So let's move back to here. So now that we have our announcements, what we want to do is come on this page, and for now we'll simply say for each announcements as announcement, we will simply pull out the announcements title and display it. Okay, so if we refresh, we have see the announcements. We click here and we see only one announcement. Oh no, I think it's just multiple, just it's all the 10 that we have. It's just not, but I don't like the UI that the simple page has provided me directly here, so we might as well move that to a simple live wire page. So let's just go ahead and do that. So we say artisan make live wire, the name is going to be announcements. Well, we can name this as guest announcement, I think. Guest announcements. Do you want to make this an inline component? No, I do not. Do you want to create a test file? I'd say no for now. So it created two files. One is app livewire guest announcements, and it also created a view page, just like the filament page. So let's basically copy what we have here, and if you see under announcement, this is a guest announcement. It says we need to render this page. I will simply paste our logic here. Now once we do that, what we're gonna do here is basically come here. We also need to follow a similar pattern here, and we'll say this on mount, grab this, run this query, and then just when you render this view, we're going to say loop over each and say this is the title of it. So we'll simply put this in a div just so that it's easier. Awesome. Now we want to change the route to be guest announcements class. All right, let's try it out. Let's say announcements. Okay, now this is giving us the guest, the authenticated layout file, which we do not want. So we are going to say resources we use livewire, and I think this is coming from the components layouts app. Yeah. All right, so we need to have a layout without the guest, without the authenticated. So let's just go here, copy and paste it, and say guest.blade.php, and so we need this part. So let's say HTML, and this comes in the head. We need the body. We'll say slot. Just like this. Oh, actually there is a simple, is it though? Well, we can check. Let's try to log out. Interesting. So we click on login, we log out. Okay, so now just try to go to announcement, property name. That's right, because it's taking in the sidebar. So if we come back to the livewire and guest, can we x dash auth symbol, x dash layout auth symbol, can we guess not. Well, we'll just keep it simple. Let's say x layout dot guest and see what happens here. Livewire only supports one HTML element per component. Multiple root elements detected under the guest announcements. Do we have to wrap this in a div? Okay, for some reason it's still taking the sidebar. App dash sidebar. Are we doing something different here? Well, let's get rid of this first. Livewire auth. let's see how these people do it. So they have auth header for this. That's fine. Confirm password played. No, I think we should have probably seen that under welcome, but that's fine. Okay, so what we are going to do is create our own, maybe under partials. So we have all these. I wonder what flux appearance does. We probably don't want this, but yeah. So it's a partials. On the partials, we just put these layouts guest, refactor there, and we have this slot. And now under live wire, we are saying we want x dash partials. Oh no, I don't think we can, because it should be under components layout. Why does it? Okay, time for some Google Laravel 12 guest layout. This is for view, that's fine. Oh, you know what? We could give this to AI. I'm just quickly going to say guest. So actually, let's just go ahead and give it to AI. I have the Claude running here, so I'm just quickly going to say I am trying to implement a guest page for announcements using Livewire. I want you to go ahead and build a layout for a guest user using Tailwind CSS for keep it simple and use this layout on, and we are going to say add resources. I believe it was view slash livewire and guest announcements page. Let's see what this comes up with. It should give us a to-do list for itself. Okay, so now it came up with something. Now it says under the announcements, I did go ahead and put all this guest header, main content. We'll just say yes for now. The guest announcement is now a clean, simple layout. I think it did not go ahead and use a layout. Yeah. How about we just give it a try and see what happens? Sometimes, you know, might as well work. Okay, so we probably need to rerun the build. doesn't look like it. Attempted to read property name on null. So it looks like this is under the sidebar. Why don't we go? Well, we don't need the sidebar actually. Okay, let's go ahead and say when I tried to run this, I got the error now from, say, resources, views, its components, layouts, and sidebar. It's still using the layout file for authenticated user. I want you to build a guest layout which I can reuse for the livewire component. I always start with the resources we use, livewire, guest announcement. Okay, now let's see what happens. Okay, I can see there's already a guest layout, partials guest. Let me create. Okay, so now it did that. Yes. Right. Resources and guest.play.php. Components guest. Okay, it changed a couple of things. Maybe yes. Okay, so now it says it's done. Let's go ahead and refresh again. Let's just put in there. So now I get the error. Please fix this. Sometimes I feel like we need to rely on AI because it just knows better. I could dig into the documentation and see exactly how to build a layout, but that's fine. So instead of this, it says just use div. Interesting. Oh, yeah. It feels like this AI is getting dumb. The route is still using authenticated layout. I need to check your route configuration to make. Oh, I see. Is that why? Oh, that makes complete sense. So essentially what was happening was in the livewire component, what it went ahead and did that was specifically mentioned which layout file to use, and I completely forgot that about livewire. So if you see under login, probably should have it. There should be a render. Maybe this settings page, delete user. I think these are all just page components. Should be at least one. these are actions. I don't feel, no, that's right. I was hoping to see a render function here. Yeah, but essentially what's happening is that it's trying to now specify that the layout that we need to use is this. What else did it do? Oh, nothing else. So let's go ahead and try this now. There we go. It just works. We still have to fix these, but that's fine. We'll just replace that with our existing home page layout. So we'll just copy and try to refactor those in the next. But if you see now, we do show a list of all the announcements, and we probably also we can quit out of this. All right, so now we want to go here, and it says if announcements. This is description for us. We have the created ad. We'll probably do something for posted on. This is going to be posted on, then we're going to say posted on, and this also needs a label. Probably put that under the span. Let's say class text sm and just basically give the same as below. 500. We probably want to put this in the same line. So technically, the created ad and posted on should always be there. So we could just simply copy this div. Well, make it flex, but we are going to change the layout anyways, so we're just going to simply keep this. We do need, what else do we need? Yeah, we need to fix this layout, but that should be in the next episode, so stay tuned. Thanks everyone.